strongest oxidizers have most reduction potential, and then the strongest reducers have the negative reduction potential.
Yeah. So we just discussed about oxidizing and reducing agent yesterday, and how can you find out or identify their reducing and oxidation potential based on their electrode potential values. That was the thing. Oxidizing and reducing agents, we discussed about it in the redox reaction chapter, but here along with electrochemistry, how it is dealing or related is that you can identify the ability of a substance to undergo reduction or oxidation based on their electrode potential. That's what we basically looked at. Thank you, Dheeraj. So next thing is the cell notation. Cell notation means, as I said earlier, you have two different half cells connected to make a electrochemical cell, the complete electrochemical cell. So different people can join in different way. So there is a normal rule is there how you can represent an electrochemical cell. Usually anode will be written first, followed by cathode. So you can see over here, this is again taking an example of Daniel cell with zinc and copper. So zinc, you can see it is written ZnS slash Zn2 plus in aqueous condition. So the entire thing is showing anode half cell, and after that you have two double line, like it's a double line. Then comes the cathode representation. So always cell representation starts with the representation of anode followed by cathodic representation. So in anode itself, you can see they started with metal, then the electrolytic solution. And for cathode, it is the order is different. First electrolytic solution, then the metal is represented. So anode, for anode, first write the metal, and after drawing like just one line, then the electrolytic solution. So here zinc in solid state and Zn2 plus in aqueous condition. Then the two lines indicate the salt bridge. That means the connection between the half cells. The two lines drawn indicate salt bridge. And after that, when you write the cathode, always write the electrolyte and the metal. What is the reason why the reverse order for cathode? Why we write copper slash Cu2 plus? It's because the ions are becoming reduced. It's reducing, that's so the reason, because zinc is oxidizing, anode mean oxidation, where you can see zinc is changing into Zn2 plus. That is the change. And here what is happening at cathode is Cu2 plus is changing into Cu. Right? So that is what the order of writing the or representing an electrochemical cell is this way. One arrow means that it's a change. One arrow means phase boundary. That means electrode, solid and aqueous condition, right? Just like electrode and electrolyte. That is what one line. The boundary between the electrode and electrolyte. Two lines indicate the salt bridge. So this is very, very important, because in the exam and all, they just give this information. They don't give anything extra, because this is more than enough to understand what are the what is the electrochemical cell given, and which is anode, which is cathode. Everything is can be found out from here. What is happening? How many electrons are being transferred? All these information you are getting. So Zn changing into Zn2 plus mean 2 electron is giving out, and Cu2 plus changing into Cu mean 2 electron is gained by copper ion. And here anode is zinc and cathode is copper. Like that, all the information about an electrochemical cell can be represented in this way. That's why it's known as cell notation. Notation for electrochemical cell. Always remember that first you have to write anode, then only you will write the cathode representation. No notebook? No, right now. Is it clear to all of you? The cell representation.
Ma'am,
Lysias?
phase boundary, what does that mean again?
Phase boundary mean like difference in solid and aqueous condition, right? Just like, electrode potential like created is between at the interface of electrode and electrolyte. That is the difference in the phase, solid state and or aqueous state and solid state of the metal.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now, if it's a hydrogen electrode, then you will write H2 bar H plus, because one is in gaseous state and always ions will be in aqueous condition. And for gas, you have to specify the pressure also, 1 atm. Because for gas, it's affected by pressure. So standard condition mean it should take standard pressure. Done? Okay. Now, what we discussed all this time was related to the standard condition, standard electrode potential, standard cell potential. That means you are doing the measurement at 1 molar concentration and the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. And if it's a gas, we take it at a pressure of 1 atmospheric pressure. But the problem is that we may not be able to follow this every time, right? Maybe temperature is different, pressure is different, and maybe the concentration every time you need sometime a higher concentration. So how can you use these electrode potential or cell potential value which was measured in the standard condition can be used to find the same electrode potential or cell potential under non-standard condition. So that was a difficult task. So actually a scientist called Nernst only derived an equation to calculate this electrode potential or cell potential under the non-standard condition. So that's why this equation is known as Nernst equation. That means when the concentration is not unity, that means you're not taking 1 molar concentration of electrolyte, then the cell potential or the electrode potential, how can you find the value under non-standard condition? So here no need to write these explanation because derivation is not important. You will directly go for the equation. Numerical will be there. Just write the heading, Nernst equation. This one? No, here they just say that we always assume it to be unity, but that cannot be the case always. If it's not a unity, concentration is not 1 molar concentration, then the calculation of the cell potential is done based on Nernst equation. And that's what the final thing you can see over here. See here, taking an example of, this is the Nernst equation, that is for an electrode potential E. They just use M as a metal. So you can see Mn plus, that is metal in some oxidation state. It can be 2 plus or 3 plus based on the metal, slash M. That means E, if we simply write E, that means electrode potential under non-standard condition. If it's a standard condition, then you have to write the value E0, or sometimes we write like this. So E0 or E standard mean that is the original value what is measured under standard condition. So if you want to calculate their electrode potential or cell potential under non-standard condition, this is the equation you have to use. This is for the electrode potential. E, that is the electrode potential under non-standard condition, is equal to electrode potential under standard condition, that is E0, minus RT by NF log, you can see concentration of the metal and concentration of the metal ion. This is the basic equation. That's what given over here. That means electrode potential under non-standard condition is equal to electrode potential of the same metal under standard condition minus RT by NF Ln concentration of the metal divided by concentration of the metal ion. Where you can see R is the gas constant. Sorry?
And what is Ln?
Log, natural logarithm.
Okay, yes.
Log is logarithm to the base e exponential. Ln is natural logarithm. And you know that Ln can be connected with log log with 2.303. Ln is equal to 2. That means log is logarithm to the base 10 and Ln is logarithm to the base e exponential. That is the difference. Log is what you will use in the logarithmic table because Ln log calculation is difficult. That's why always at the end we convert Ln log to the log log because Ln calculation can be done using the scientific calculator. We are using the logarithmic table. So if you have a log calculation, you have to always use log log.
Ln is what base per?
E, based on E exponential, and log is based on 10. Like I'll explain and you can choose what you have to write. Okay, because as I said, the derivation is not important. What is like you have to use this equation and modify based on the question. So here you can see concentration of metal divided by metal ion. But we know that for a solid, the concentration we kept it constant because for solid we don't take the concentration. Only for aqueous solution we take concentration. That is why the same you can see solid M concentration is constant. So the same equation is modified in this way. You can see. Instead of M by Mn plus concentration, we write 1 divided by concentration of Mn M plus ions. Because the concentration of any solid substance is kept as unity or kept as constant. That is why only for ions or the aqueous condition we use the concentration. So the same equation is modified in this way because concentration of M is kept constant. So this is when you have a single electrode and using Nernst equation for an electrode potential, you can calculate the electrode potential under non-standard condition. Say example.
What is R?
R is gas constant, T is temperature, N is number of electrons, and F is, you might be knowing in physics, Faraday constant. Faraday constant, 96,000. Because we are simplifying it further down, that's why you don't have to use the actual value. We are putting all the constant and simplifying it for the calculation. So here R is the gas constant, T is temperature, F is Faraday constant, 96,500 coulombs. Prasanna, you were having a doubt, right?
Yes, ma'am. For
What was
the
that?
Daniel cell, for the anode one, like it's wrong, right? It's supposed to be EZN slash ZN2 plus, right?
No, electrode potential mean always expressed as reduction potential, right? When you write any electrode potential, we discussed already, electrode potential automatically means that reduction potential. For that, you have to always write it as a reduction reaction.
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
Okay, that's why we always write in this way, okay? Because electrode potential is expressed as their reduction potential. Okay, I have just explained till here. I'm coming to the downer part. Like, yeah. What was that?
96,500.
Value of Faraday constant is 96,500 coulomb. 1 Faraday is equal to 96,500 coulomb. As I said earlier, we are simplifying it, so we may not be directly using this a bigger value in calculation. So even if you don't know that, it's fine. Okay, so here we discussed as electrode potential of an individual electrode under non-standard condition. So in a half cell, in a complete cell, you have two such electrodes, and with both in the non-standard condition. If you know, then you can calculate the E cell under non-standard condition. I repeat, say example, you take Daniel cell. Say example, I'll take copper. So if you want to find the value of copper under non-standard condition, then it is equal to constant E0 of copper minus R T. Usually we take it as room temperature. So whatever the temperature, you have to use it. Here, what will be the N value for copper? N is number of electron which is getting transferred during oxidation or reduction. Cu and Cu2 plus, what is the change in number of electron? 2 electron, right? Cu2 plus, when they take 2 electron, which is forming Cu. So here N will be 2 F, because the rest 3 are constant. R is a constant. Temperature, when you do it, it's a constant. Faraday's constant is there. So N is the term which will be changing based on the type of metal. If you are used aluminium, Al3 plus bar Al, then the N will be 3, because the transfer of electron from ion to the metal is 3 electron. If you have chromium, again 3. Like that, this value of N will change. For silver, we write Ag plus bar Ag. So how many electron getting transferred? 1. So based on the metal, that N value will be changing. Rest, other than that, the 3 of them, R, T and F is a constant. Then you have Ln concentration 1 by concentration of Cu2 plus ion. This will be the equation for copper. So this is the standard equation, and based on the standard equation, you can write it for all the half cells like electrodes. So for copper, it is like that. That means I can write it as E will be equal to, for copper, the standard value is 0.34 minus RT by 2F log 1 by concentration of Cu2 plus ion. So if you know all these values, you can calculate the E. That is the electrode potential of copper under non-standard condition. Because R is a constant, you already know the value. T, you can find the temperature. F is already known. And the concentration of ion, that will be given in the question. What is the condition? Maybe it will be more than 1 molar concentration or less than 1 molar. It won't be 1. If it is 1, then it is standard value, right? So it will be either greater than 1 molar concentration or less than 1 molar concentration. This is how you will solve and get the final answer. Right? Like that, you can find for individual electrode, and when you are making an electrochemical cell, they have taken example of Daniel cell. So cathode is for copper, and you can see for anode. And for Daniel cell, if you want to calculate the cell potential under non-standard condition, then what you have to do is like E cell is equal to, you know, E cathode minus E anode. We already learned that equation. How to calculate the E cell is equal to E cathode minus E anode. This is the representation. So cathode is copper here and anode is zinc. So after substituting everything, this is the final equation you're getting for Daniel cell. That means E cell is equal to E0 cell minus RT by NF log concentration of oxidized ion divided by concentration of reduced ion, because Zn is undergoing oxidation.
in the second last line,
Mm.
okay, after E0 Zn plus star Zn, shouldn't it be a positive sign after positive RT by 12, the natural log of 1 by?
This ender thing, you take it in the bracket. That will be fine, no?
Yeah, so minus will be.
Yeah, that's what finally that Zn term is coming up. Because that will become positive, right?
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, these becomes in this.
Yeah, that's what in the final step they have done it. So you can see, so this is what you need to know. So general equation only, that's why I told you to no need to write everything because derivation is not required, but you should be writing the general representation. So you can write like this, E cell is equal to E0 cell minus RT by NF Ln, then concentration of oxidized species. Here in a Daniell cell, zinc is oxidizing, that is why zinc on the top, and reduced species, concentration of reduced ions at the bottom. This is the general representation of E cell calculation under non-standard conditions. So write this equation. Sorry? Cell potential under non-standard condition. E cell is equal to E0 cell minus RT by NF log concentration of oxidized divided by concentration of reduced species.
Ln is natural log.
Ln is natural logarithm and log is logarithm to the base 10. And that's what I told you, like you should be knowing this conversion. Ln is equal to 2.303 log. Because you cannot solve ln normally using the logarithmic table which will be provided. So you have to anyway convert it into log. So what will happen if you convert into log? The equation will change as the same equation. I will rewrite it here. E cell is equal to E0 cell minus 2.303 RT by NF log into concentration of oxidized species divided by concentration of reduced species. Because you have to always convert ln log to log, that is when you can use a logarithmic table. So that means you have to multiply it with 2.303 when you convert ln to log.
This is not represented in this form, right?
Yeah.
This is have to represent in this form, like what I asked.
Then based on the values given, you have to substitute and find the final answer. So always it will be calculate E cell, that is under non-standard condition. The standard values will be there. You can calculate and find out this. So when you, that's what I said, when you start doing the numerical, you will understand like how to use this equation. Sometimes you have to modify based on the condition given. N value will be changing and constantly you have to identify what is oxidized and reduced species like that.
We have to memorize the values for the oxidized in this species. Okay.
Value, nothing, no need to memorize any value.
Which equation in that? The one which you were working with?
That is the general Nernst equation. This is what the final form of Nernst equation, which you can apply for calculation of E cell under non-standard condition for any electrochemical cell. The green one is just I've changed ln to log. That's why I added a 2.303. That is the only change in red and green. Because ln calculation is, you can't do it with the normal logarithmic table. So always it should be converted to log. Which can be further simplified. That means if you're doing it in normal temperature T and R is already a constant, F is already a constant, right? So if you apply all the values of constant, then you can get a much more simplified version of Nernst equation. This is the basic thing. This you have to learn. And the one in green is will be more useful because that's what you needed in LOG. Can I change the slide? Write the red one and green one. Done? Can I change the slide? Okay.
Ma'am, why is Z12 plus coming on top and Cu2 plus on the bottom of the denominator?
That's what the derivation over here told you. Like cell potential mean E cathode minus E anode, right? So if you apply the individual equation of cathode and anode, and after you doing everything, the final format will be like this. Just if you have time, just try it and do it. Try to do that derivation part.
Okay, ma'am.
Because the 2 negative, no, that will become positive, so that it will come up when you take the negative out.
Okay, ma'am.
That's what. Done? So the same equation, if you apply the value of R and T is at room temperature and F is also constant, after putting everything together, the final format will be E cell is equal to E0 cell minus 0.0591 by N log concentration of oxidized by concentration of reduced. This is easiest form. This is the easiest form of cell potential.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
No, what is T in this equation?
Which one?
Ma'am, T.
Your room temperature 298 Kelvin.
Okay, ma'am.
If the temperature is different, then you cannot use the final Saturday class. Anyway, she will mail it, right? So this final is always will be using the final one because most of the R is constant already, F is already constant. T is the one which can change. But if T is kept as 298 Kelvin, that is the room temperature, then this is the final value. E0 cell minus 0.0591 log divided by N. N will be changing for metal, so that can't be like substituted. It will be always N. Then log oxidized by reduced. So these three equations you should be writing and you should know when to use and what to use. So this is the raw equation what Nernst has derived for any of the E cell. From that, because natural logarithm was in use at that time, then we have to convert it into like logarithm to the base 10. And the final equation is after substituting all the constant values, R, T at room temperature and F Faraday constant. E cell is equal to E0 cell minus 0.0591 by N log concentration of oxidized by concentration of reduced. 0.0591. Okay, we'll continue in the next class.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
So next class we'll discuss that numerical, so it will be more clear for you.